You've probably heard the quote, in a time of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. Everyone repeats it. Everyone that I've heard repeat it attributes it to George Orwell. And it's wrong. Orwell never said it. And that's exactly why I'm opening with it. Because even the warnings about deception are wrapped in deception. Even the quotes about truth get recycled without anyone checking whether they're true. But that's the world we live in now, a world where truth is optional and narrative is everything. And the public is expected to swallow whatever they're fed without asking questions. And today, we're going to talk about truth, or more accurately, the systemic avoidance of truth in Australia. Because the headlines right now, they're not just stories, they're signals, they're distractions, they're pressure valves, and they tell you more about the state of this country than the politicians ever will.
Got my eyes straight ahead, got my head in the game. With the red light on, I'm just waiting for the change. Keep my head down low.
So let's start with this obvious one, the Ben Robert Smith headlines. He's Australia's most decorated soldier. Accusations of murder in Afghanistan, years of media coverage, a defamation trial that played out like a Netflix series. Now, I'm not here to relitigate the case, and I'm not here to declare his guilt or his innocence. That's not the point of this episode. The point is this: why has the Australian government allowed one of the most sensitive, complex, national security adjacent stories in our history to unfold in the media like a public spectacle? Why has every detail been allowed to drip out? Why has the narrative been shaped in real time by journalists, commentators, and leaks? Here's the uncomfortable truth: there is far more to this story than the public will ever know. And that's not because of conspiracy, but because of classification, geopolitics, military secrecy, and political risk. Some truths are simply never going to be released. Not in 10 years, not in 50 years, not ever. And yet the public is fed a steady diet of headlines as if the media circus is the full story. But it isn't, and it never will be. We have in this government and in previous governments selective transparency, and it's a government strategy. This is where the pattern becomes obvious. Some stories, they get full sunlight. Others get buried. Some scandals, have you noticed, they're dissected in public. And yet others seem to disappear into committees, inquiries, and, it's an ongoing review. Governments don't deal in truth, they deal in narrative management. If a story is useful, it gets airtime. If a story is dangerous, it gets delayed, reframed, or quietly forgotten. And the public is left trying to assemble truth from fragments. Fragments that are chosen by people who benefit from controlling the narrative. And meanwhile, Australia is in serious trouble. While the media obsesses over personalities and scandals, the country is sliding toward a financial cliff. Let's be blunt: Australia is drowning in debt. The cost of living is crushing families. Housing is unattainable for an entire generation. Immigration is increasing while infrastructure is collapsing. Energy security is fragile and fuel reserves are dangerously low. And every economic forecast quietly admits the same thing. We are not prepared for what's coming. But instead of confronting these issues, the government keeps kicking the can down the road. We borrow more, we spend more, we import more people, and we hope, they hope, nobody notices the cracks forming beneath the surface. And when the cracks get too big to hide, they distract you with yet another headline, another scandal, another inquiry, another national conversation that leads nowhere. Then you've got the fuel and energy crisis that nobody wants to talk about. Australia has some of the lowest fuel reserves in the developed world. We rely on foreign supply chains for almost everything. Our energy grid is unstable, politicized, and vulnerable. But what does the public hear? Everything is fine. Transition is going smoothly, and there's no need to panic. Truth is not the priority. Managing perception is. Because if the public understood how fragile the system really is, the political class would have to take responsibility. And that's something they avoid at all costs. So let's look at this through a biblical lens. In the modern world, truth has fallen. Isaiah 59, verse 14 says, "Truth has stumbled in the streets, honesty cannot enter." That's not just ancient poetry, that's a diagnosis of modern Australia. And then there's Pilate's question in John 18:38, where he says, "What is truth?" It's the same question we're asking today. Not because truth doesn't exist, but because truth has become inconvenient. Truth exposes incompetence. Truth exposes corruption. Truth exposes mismanagement. Truth exposes the consequences of political cowardice. And that's why truth is avoided. Because truth is now a threat. Here's the reality. When truth becomes dangerous, lies become normal. When truth becomes inconvenient, narratives become essential. When truth becomes unmanageable, governments turn to distraction. And in a time of universal deceit, simply asking honest questions becomes a revolutionary act. Australia doesn't need more spin. It doesn't need more distractions. And it definitely doesn't need more political theatre. It needs truth, real truth, and the courage to face it. But until that happens, we're going to keep sliding down this slope. As always, this is just my opinion. I am Jay Fallon, and thanks for listening to the Slippery Slope podcast.
They just fuel a desire that will take me higher. I'm on fire.